$3,400 to $4,200. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says he looks at these tariffs as a sinister gambit to raise revenue to then cut taxes for the rich. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president intends for the tariffs, which will be effective immediately, to transform the U.S. into what she calls a manufacturing superpower.
April 2nd, 2025 will go down as one of the most important days in modern American history. It's simple. If you make your product in America, you will pay no tariffs.
Almost everything they do, including tariffs, it seems to me, is aimed at getting those tax cuts for the wealthy.
A separate 25% tariff on imported vehicles and vehicle parts will go into effect at the stroke of midnight, so tomorrow. So over these next couple days, the cost of nearly everything you buy, from cars to groceries to clothing, will get higher. The question becomes how much of that cost
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to a Tuesday day live stream. It is Tuesday, correct? Today is, or it's Wednesday, my God. Okay. Wednesday the 2nd, aka Liberation Day. Today is the day that we're going to hear from Trump about the tariffs that will be going into action moving forward. I have some notes. Some of you guys heard me listening to a video from CNBC, or sorry, it was from Fox, regarding some of these tariff information, as least what we know so far. Today, at least, it seems that the market is enjoying the wait being over. So Bitcoin is chilling at 86.6. It reached all the way up to 87.5 earlier today, and you can see it's been pretty volatile. So the market generally is trying to price this in as a sell the rumor, buy the news type of event, which is a little bit backwards from what we're all used to, but it is sell into the fear and then buy once there is confirmation again. And this is something I really want you guys to really drive home in everyone's mind as it pertains to the market. Usually the market doesn't care what the news is, it just likes to know what's going on. Generally speaking, broadly speaking, the market just wants to know what to expect. And so this uncertainty of, are we gonna have a trade war? Are we not gonna have a trade war? Are we gonna get tariffs? Are we not gonna get tariffs? It's way more impactful to the market, at least the sentiment behind the market, than the actual tariffs. Because we know, once we know what the tariffs are, we can price in accordingly and we can move forward accordingly with everyone's expectations. And so during this period, or at least the last couple months, where it's just been pure uncertainty, the market's been selling off. And today, where we know we're going to get some certainty on it, the market is rebounding, and that is both for the indices and Bitcoin. Now, it's not that special, guys. It's not that spectacular, because ultimately, if you zoom out a little bit, we're bouncing off the absolute bottom on a lot of these stocks and cryptos. And so really, we're still at the basement bottom prices, and we are nowhere near out of the woods for this thing. Good morning, MK. What's going on, Steven? What's happening, Steve the Canadian? How's it going, Beagle? Good morning, everyone. Welcome in. As everyone comes in, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up on this live stream. I took some notes on that video, and we might as well watch the video if you guys are interested, but here is some of the information, at least for what we know so far. So this is supposed to be the largest, quote, tax increase since World War II. There is a potential, or at least word on the street is there's a potential 20% universal tariff. Yale Budget Lab says this might increase the average household expenses by $3,200 to $4,200 per year extra. So a bit of a jump in expenses. Trump's trade advisor says that tariffs are set to increase revenue by $600 billion per year, which is pretty wild, and that there is likely, or there is going to be a 25% tariff on all vehicles manufactured out of the United States. This, of course, people against it are saying is just a way to increase money so that they can then cut taxes for the rich. And people who are for it say this is going to set the United States ahead as an industrial manufacturing superpower. So there's a little bit of a spark notes as to what's going to be, what people are thinking right now on the street. If we go look at a timeline for everything, so at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard, so a couple hours, 3 hours ago, or more than 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago, we got Trump talking with some of his experts to finalize this transformative tariff initiative. And then half an hour ago, we got Press Secretary Carolyn with the interview before the announcement. And then at 4 p.m., after the markets close, noted, we are going to get the announcement of all the tariffs. They don't want direct market impact, right? So they wait till after the market closes. And then at 4:30, we get the photo shoot and where he's going to be sitting there answering questions from people. So this is going to be pretty interesting. This is going to be very, very interesting to see what happens with everything. I'm not really worried about it because ultimately I have no control over it. And so you can't be worried about things that you have no control over. But it's going to be fun to watch. I enjoy, again, knowing that the worry of what's going to happen around these tariffs is going to be over, because guess what? If all of a sudden companies know it's going to cost 20% more to bring in items than it did last month, then they know and they can budget accordingly. Plus, we saw a huge surge over the last couple of weeks and months. Honestly, since Trump was inaugurated, we saw a massive surge in people going out, or companies going out and purchasing as much inventory as humanly possible, kind of drawing forward a lot of that demand in the markets for stuff, building up inventory so that they don't have to worry as much about these tariffs. So we're not actually going to even see a real outcome from this stuff for quite some time. I think immediately we'll see a huge sell-off in the data when it comes to company spending and everything, and inventory surplus starting to dry up really quickly, and people will probably try and panic a lot, but just remember that it surged into this so that companies could be prepared and act accordingly. We won't get any of that data until probably mid-summer though, so we got some time to wait before we get real panic out there in the market. For now, the data is probably going to come in pretty good, pretty hot, because everyone was going out like crazy trying to build up inventory and just prepare for this news. If we go look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, Ethereum is currently down 0.3%, while Bitcoin's up 1.9%. So we're seeing dominance continue to truck higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And oh my God, look at that dominance chart. What the fuck? What the? Yes, it is. Exactly, Steve the Canadian. Smash that like button, people. If you do, then he even includes sound. Otherwise, it's $15 a month. He takes installments. You can actually sign up for a pay now or buy now, pay later service in order to pay $1 per month for the next 15 months, every month, forever, in order to be here watching these live streams. You're damn right. Okay, so I have some exciting things to talk about, and then some just general hanging out and looking at the charts that we can do. First up, I wanted to give a shout out to Dr. Evil and Stacy Sport. They just launched officially with the new token contract address. And so now people they separated themselves from Creator Bid so they could have more control over everything that's going on in the project and with the token contract and everything, so they can implement their own fee structures. and do a lot of interesting things. They have some cool partnerships that I believe they've already announced. I don't pay too much attention to Stacy Sport, but I know a lot of you guys do, and I just want to give a shout out to the team over there because they're doing good. They're doing good. It seems I just backed out of that, even though I wasn't intending to. I just wanted to close out of that. Whatever. We'll go back. No, mods. Get Zach out of here. Mods. 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 Steve the Canadian says, by midsummer, we will be back to hovering around 97,000 to 103,000 for Bitcoin. Nothing else will really be popping off, but the entire market is about to level out for 3 weeks, so we are around the bottom in his opinion. I would tend to agree with that. I think you are spot on with it. I think that the worst of the fear is behind us now, moving forward from today, and so it's just going to be a matter of people rotating back into the market if they so choose to. We'll see, though. We will see. I think most of the pain is over, but I would not be surprised again still to say that Bitcoin plummets here, $10,000. I would not be surprised at all. It would not change anything. It would still be on par for just chopping sideways, as $10,000 is really not that big of a move for Bitcoin. The rest of the market, though, that would probably hurt a good amount. Solana still chilling down here in this gorgeous area of contention, so they are really building out support here. Which it was already built out as support, so they're just really confirming that area as support, which is a pretty key area here. And anyone who is long Solana, I think this is a gorgeous opportunity at these current prices. I think Solana sees highs of $1,000 per SOL, so getting in at this price would yield some pretty good returns. Nobody said goddamn bear. What the hell, man? What the actual hell? Ain't nobody bearish around here. As far as some other decentralized science news here today, as you guys know, we talk about DeSci every single day, except for the days that I forget to go live because I'm deep at work and working on all of the tool sets for Agent Bill. We got a partnership with NobleBlocks and Circular Protocol. So they are partnering to strengthen scientific credibility through blockchain. #1 checkmark says Circular partners with NobleBlocks to bring unprecedented transparency and credibility to scientific publishing through decentralized verification. As researchers face growing challenges in data integrity and peer review accountability, blockchain-powered certification becomes essential for trust in science. This collaboration introduces two groundbreaking integrations, my God. Raw data certification, tamper-proof origin tracing for research data sets, and research paper assessment certification, immutable recording of peer reviews on chain. So this is just in the steps that NobleBlocks is continuing to take in order to kind of pioneer the industry forward when it comes to academic publications and the peer review process. So NobleBlocks here, one of the only platforms that are actually pushing forward open source collaboration and open access academic research. And so this way you can actually certify that the data is real and not made up, as, believe it or not, that is a real problem in academic publishings. Not all of them, but the fact that any do it is a problem. And that's just so that they can actually get that peer review check mark on their papers and everything. I'm taking these glasses off. They're fogging up my vision. I'm running a little bit warm right now. But that's so that they can actually get that check mark to show that the data is real, because sometimes scientists will phony or smudge some of the numbers to get a certain point across, and so this prevents that. And then we have the assessment certification, immutable recording of peer review on chain. That way you can actually see who contributed to the research, see who's out there doing peer reviews, and build your resume with on-chain record keeping. Together, we are building a future where every research step, from raw data to peer review, is verifiable, time-stamped, and trustless. So that's really cool. Love to see that. It's a good partnership. I'm gonna go ahead and quote tweet this bad boy. What should we say, guys? What should we say? I want my money, I want it now. JG Wentworth, 877 cash now. I think that's the saying, right? That's the song, the little jingle. Steve, he might have been talking to me when I said Bitcoin might go down 10 grand. He might have been a little triggered by that bearish comment. The drink today, kombucha. It is guava passion fruit, organic, raw kombucha. Not sponsored. although it should be. What should I say? Amazing collaboration here to really push forward accountability in the academic space. What do you guys think? Is that a good one? Is that a good post name? Quote tweet? Circular X or circular plus Nova blocks, sorry, not circular times Nova blocks. They are just simply adding them together, not multiplying them together. As far as price increase, this has had the exact opposite effect where Nova blocks is down again today. Yeah, that's an aggressive one. So somebody just gave up their conviction. 3 million Noble. They just sold 3 million Noble. That's nuts. They just liquidated their whole bag likely. For 6 grand is crazy. Imagine the pain and suffering this person goes through. Who even is this? Funded by Noble Blocks Deployer. So this is an insider. Insiders are dumping. WTF, man. No, it could also not be a insider. It's very possible this is just somebody who got their pre-sale allocation finally and just decided to give up entirely at the literal lowest price that Noble has ever been. That is crazy. Patrick looking at his trade. No, this is not my trade. Patrick, how good would you be at training someone how to use an AI bot to do their bidding? And you accept payment in hamsters. I do not accept payment in hamsters as they are not viable currencies in my book. Maybe for other people they would be, but not in my book. And I have no idea how to trade using bots, so I would not even accept that job. We are almost down to the literal bottom when it comes to the hack for Noble. You guys remember that? I remember. I remember it like it was a year ago. Oh wait, it was basically a year ago. That's crazy. I'll just go ahead and post this then. GM, Spectruth, GM. As far as anything else that we wanted to talk about today, I wanted to just kind of scroll through DeSci SHILLERS and see about news that's coming in, anything that people are really talking about in the landscape of decentralized science. So we have Bioprotocol here announcing ELIZA OS as a sponsor of the BioX AI Agentic Science Hackathon. ELIZA OS helps build scoped modular plugins that are easy to use and maintain, ideal for fast, flexible agent development. ELIZA OS is a conversational style agent that you can really just plug in anything that you want into the infrastructure and use natural language to talk to the agent, which is pretty cool. So BioX AI Virtual Hackathon sponsored by ELIZA OS. Remember, they have several thousands of dollars up for grabs in this hackathon. Market was very different 1 year ago. Take us back. Yes, it was. Market was incredibly different 1 year ago. Yeah, so look at this. Prize structure. $75,000 for scientific outcomes, $35,000 for core agent development, and $15,000 in discretionary prizes. This portion of the prize pool will be allocated at the discretion of BioXYZ to recognize various valuable contributors. It's basically their way of saying we can give out money to anyone that we want to, depending on what they do to help out. Oh, this is cool. DeSci is currently the top performing crypto sector with an average price performance of plus 5%. Excuse me? Assets with the most engaged community include... How on earth is this real? DeSci is currently the top performing crypto sector? Yeah, right. We are down so bad, guys. How is this the top performing crypto sector only up 5%? But notice anything interesting? Number one for top most engaged communities is Origin. We don't really talk much about Origin, but we do talk a lot about Dynex. We used to talk a lot about research, or about Axon. We talk a lot about research and Genome. Don't talk anything about Nuco. Rejuve's up there. Oh, would you look at that? We got Data Lake and Noble Blocks. We got a lot of the projects we talk about being in the top 4 community. So that is really cool. Although I can't really trust the data unless we really are the top performing asset class in crypto right now, which would be so goofy. March 31st, so 3 days ago. What did these people say when they posted it though? Plus 5% is a gold mine in this market. Low key though. Low key. Year of watching Patrick and losing money. God damn it, Beagle. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's been tough. It has been very, very tough. There were good times sprinkled in throughout that. There's been good times sprinkled in there. Not all of it's been pure down, although lately it really does feel like Noble is an embodiment of what my portfolio looks like. It really does. It's like, yeah, look at how good we're doing. And then it's like, oh wait, we've just been going down. Oh my God, we're back alive. Yeah. Aw, crazy. Time to go ahead and get rid of this drawing, I guess, since it clearly didn't hold up at all. I don't understand who is selling at these prices. It genuinely confuses me every time I look at the charts. But people, I guess the sellers cannot be exhausted. They cannot be exhausted. Wild. Even on Dynex, look at that. Sellers cannot be exhausted. That's insane. That's insane. But we'll move on. I don't want to keep looking at that stuff. Two separate events. I started watching Patrick long after I started losing money. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. W. Steve. W. Steve. I mean, you can tell by the... I know I don't do any real promotions for my live streams and everything, but you can really tell where the current state of market participants are based off the current state of the chat here. Nobody gives a crap about DeSci in this moment, which is fine. This is not the first time we've gone through that. Well, here's the thing, Spec. If there were no sellers, price would never go down. So whether or not it's got anything to do with money coming in or out of the market, if there were no sellers, we would not be going down. We would just be chilling sideways. So sellers cannot be exhausted, and there is just no one there to soak up that liquidity, which genuinely just gives us opportunity. I know you're sick of me saying that, and I am also kind of sick of just saying it, but let's look at HairDAO for an example, okay? Let's go and take a look. Projects are always pulling money, never stop pulling money. That's what makes it constant, but it's also what makes it a Ponzi scheme. If no one's buying, are you seeing it now? Steve, you're conflating things though. The entire monetary system is but a Ponzi scheme. The entire thing. It doesn't make it any different for crypto. The same thing applies, the same rule sets. The literal entire monetary system is based off of new people being born and creating more jobs and more work and more everything. Everything built in social, like you call it a Ponzi scheme, I just call it society. But look at this. They got 25 follicular units from 3 donors. We are submitting for RNA sequencing this morning. Truth, LOL. Cryosection protocol optimized. I've never seen this before, but we see HairDAO in the lab really continuing to work forward and progress forward. So regardless as to what's happening to the token price, we got people continuing to work relentlessly. All of them are continuing to put in the work time and time again. And a lot of these companies, guess what, aren't US based, so they literally don't have any impact by the tariffs that are coming into action today. And again, for anyone who's joining, we can talk about the tariffs more if you guys want to, but really we have to wait until 4 o'clock to see what the real impact is on the markets with them, because 4 p.m. Eastern is when we get the announcement from Trump as to what the tariffs really look like. Saturdays are for the follicles. Today we took 475 photos across 3 donors in one of our most promising in-house studies, made and changed cultures across 60 wells, 5 groups of 12, and ran PCR across 5 groups of quality siRNA knockdown for future studies. Welcome to the US's largest human tissue lab. Oh, never mind. I guess they are US based. I guess they are US based. HairDAO at least. The morning routine, emergin, ice, banana, this fancy water that's like $20 per bottle. But the point being here that people are continuing to work. People are continuing to work. I'm holding everything still, even Noble. Me too, Spec, me too. At least you made out good, MK. I sold the top Noble, definitely not a diamond hander. Rip. Rip to everyone else, including myself, who did not. RIP. But good looks, MK, good looks. Can you buy back in, please? Or did you parlay that into other plays and then end up losing money on the other stuff? Because that happened a lot. Take profits, open new positions, get dumped on in those new positions. It is the endless cycle of people in crypto. They're like, ooh, I made a quick 20x on this project. Let me go ahead and move that money into the next 20x. Oh, wait, it rugged. Fortunately, only 10% of my allocation was unlocked. Still a nice chunk of money. Yeah, true. Are you talking about the top from like a year ago, back here? Or are you talking about this local top back here? My price targets on these things are just so high that I was like, yeah, I ain't selling anything for 2 cents when it's gonna rip up to 40 cents in no time. And then we look back and it's like, oh, it's down 90, 92, 3% from there. So that's cool. Awesome. Let's go. Can we go to another chart? Bill Nye's back. Bill is back on these charts. Okay, we had a nice giant whale get out. What the fuck? Except that whale probably, yeah, only was able to get 5 grand for almost 1 million tokens. That's insane. What? Who did that? Somebody just absolutely, that's like 3% of the supply right there. What the hell? That is a crazy, crazy sale. Sold at almost 14 cents. God damn, MK. God damn. Good looks, dude. That's crazy. Oh, we got somebody who's holding on to sport. Lots of sport. But they liquidated their entire position, it seems, in one sell. One click of the button. That is a big sell. Let's go see if this is the new sport or the old sport. This is the only position that has anything really in it. 1 month, so this is the old sport. Oh, this is a scam sport, it looks like. On the daily chart, looking like that. Came in a month ago. Unless this is brand new, they just launched today. Oh yeah, okay, this is the one from today, so this is the new one. So this is somebody who is likely a community member. Beagle, get that FUD out of here. Patrick did not sell. He did not sell a single penny of Bill. I have been relentlessly purchasing Bill, actually. You'll look, I imagine you'd see a lot of people, a lot of insiders potentially in other projects dumping at these spikes. A lot of insiders dumping around these spikes. I'm out here buying, 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 buying. I haven't bought this one, but buying. I'm out here non-stop. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. None of you can stop me. But we're back down to pre-sale prices, basically. That's nutty. That's nutty. And that's going to change. That's going to change. That's why I literally skipped the live stream yesterday so that I could work on that. So that's going to change. Yeah. But that's okay. The market's getting decimated. Everything on the watch list. Pythia. 13 mil market cap is crazy. Zaya down at 4 cents is also crazy. This one, Zaya's got a lot of potential too. Zaya's got some of those customers out here that are literal governments. Zaya's out here actually putting forth some proper value into the market when it comes to diagnosing diseases, specifically tuberculosis, specifically, yeah, they have the AI diagnostics that are really going to be moving the needle when it comes to real world value. So Zaya is something I'm hanging on tight to, even despite I don't think this is the right contract address and everything, but I'm pretty sure this is the correct chart. 3 more weeks until slow up month. That ain't that bad. 3 weeks, we can sit through 3 weeks. AXGT. We can sit through 3 weeks, that's nothing. AXGT on base, chilling at 9 cents. So same type of chart as everything else. Slow bleed down to the bottom again. Let's get the ETH one up. We are in just this little niche of death and destruction in DeSci when it comes to portfolio values. Not when it comes to actual scientific progress though. Literally everything in the portfolio continues to progress forward, and yet the charts look like this, which is what it is, right? But down at the literal same low that it bounced off of last time DeSci picked up in August. So we will see what happens there. But looking good. Axon team, that's what I mean. Like the team keeps progressing, keeps building, keeps shipping, keeps moving forward, and price is not changing. So it's literally just a representation of what's going on in the market, you know? Yeah, I know, Jordy. I know. I think people are dumping because Noble's team's poor communication skills. If you look at the Telegram group, they always give vague answers and never engage with the community. I understand that. I do. I really do. And that's probably why somebody dumped Bill as well, is because of that same exact reason. But ultimately, you have to separate the activity of a Telegram chat from the actual project's fundamentals and the value proposition that they bring. And if you can't do that, you're not going to make it. If you think that people communicating in a Telegram channel is the end-all be-all for any value proposition behind a project, then you're in the wrong industry here entirely, and you might as well just go stick to poly markets and stuff like that. Like it's very night and day. Real progress is not made from sitting in a Telegram community channel. But the thing is that a lot of price action is dictated by what happens in those Telegram community channels. And so it's really just this psychotic backwards initiative between like what to buy and what to hold on to, if that makes any sense to what I just said. It's like there's no winning with that. Because what would you rather? Would you rather Delroy and all the team of developers sit there and tell you what they're gonna do? Or would you rather them go do it and then actually onboard people and actually like make progress and provide value in the world? Actually get the fundamental users of the platform on. No one in that Telegram group is using the real platform for posting publications. Maybe 1% of the people in there, right? And so it's just, like, it's akin to investors asking for daily updates from the stock market, and it's like, bruh, you get a quarterly update and that's it. You get a quarterly and then a yearly shareholder letter. That's what you get, and if you can't settle with that, then so be it. But that kind of stuff doesn't really bother me, because I do know that when the cycle of attention circles back around to some of these altcoins that we're in, as long as they've been continuing to make progress, those people will come back and potentially get back involved, right? Kaito, that's not how you spell it. One project we were looking at not too long ago, I'm just cycling around to some non-DeSci projects here, but look at this. This is a really solid project that has so many people onboarded into it, and it's continuing to sell off, which is nuts to me, but so be it, right? That's just the state of the market. So there's not much you can really do about it. I feel like this kombucha has little bits of plastic at the bottom of it. Yeah, like you guys know Kaito. It's the platform that has those mind maps, those heat maps of where the X's attention is, right? Where the people on X are putting their attention. Kaito can map that out, and they have a social fi network that is, I think, in my opinion, like social media 2.5, where it's not necessarily Web3 for social media, where it's all decentralized apps, but it's kind of onboarding people and getting them akin or used to the idea of blockchain-based social media. They are a stepping stone to an entire segment of the market which has lost a lot of steam, but I think is still fundamentally strong. And I think they're doing it in the correct manner. And so this is something that, yeah, price goes down, doesn't matter to me. You just hang on to it and wait for the market to realize what they're building over there. Same thing with, what is the name of it? It's one that I showed you guys a few weeks ago. A lot of these coins won't be here by summer if we are doing real talk. Pick wisely. Potentially. What is, I believe in Bill team, Bullish Beagle. Thank you for that. You're all on Bill's team, just FYI, so believe in yourself. What is the ticker for it? What is the project? Oh, there it is. Proto KOL. This is one that I really like too. $1.7 million market cap. This is a tool to keep track of KOLs for influencer marketing campaigns. This is something I think is really, really powerful and really unique, and it's chilling down here at the floor. So this is something that I'm definitely keeping my eye on, waiting for things to start picking up again before I really dive into it. Yeah. What else do you guys want to look at? What else should we look at or pull up? The only reason I can say I believe Bill will still be here is because I believe you will still be here, and I believe in you, and if I believe in you, I believe Bill will go Blue Jays. I believe in Bill, go Blue Jays. Let's go. Let's go. You're damn right. I am not leaving, MFers. I am not leaving. The only thing I've been doing is progressing further and further along, increasing my knowledge, increasing my capabilities, increasing Bill's knowledge, increasing Bill's capabilities, because he is but an extension of myself. And so really, things are going crazy. Like, I'm very pleased with what's happening behind the scenes. It's just a matter of shipping it, which takes so much time. You look at quantum biology DAO. I mean, look anywhere else in crypto. Find another area in crypto that you can get this kind of progress updates and stuff. Who else is out there literally opening up quantum biological labs? Biological labs that are studying the effects of quantum magnetism on organic organisms and organic structures. This is nuts. This is a brand new industry which is just emerging, and we have crypto representation. We have Web3 DeSci-based representation in the industry. This is something that, yeah, it might be volatile for the first year of holding it, right? But at the end of the day, they are going to make some crazy advancements in the industry because they are one of the first people actually taking the industry serious. So this is something that doesn't come around often. Genuinely, these types of opportunities do not come around all that often. Maybe once a year you get to invest in some really good return projects and good return investments. But then when it comes to industry shifts like this is something that happens maybe once a decade, that you find industry shifts like this. And there are several happening right now. There are several, and everyone is focused on AI, which inherently tells me that a lot of the AI stuff is probably overvalued. Not a lot of people are focusing in on the quantum stuff, and even less people are focused in on the academic side or academia. And that is shifting quite rapidly. Academia is shifting very fast right now. Trump's making damn sure of it. We need some crazy 10,000x gem. That would be nuts, Paul's Adventures. That would be nuts. Not undoable. We have hit a couple of those in the past, but that is not the goal line. That is not the field goal, or the goal line, yeah. We're looking for some good opportunity that the market's not paying attention to. That's my thesis, and that means that we sit through periods like this, and I say it every single time, so I don't want to bore all of you guys to death, but it just is what it is. Let's scroll to the bottom and see if there's anything cool. Off to the races. Over 1 million bio locked in the first hour of Bio V1 going live. Hell yeah, bio, hell yeah. How to join. Biotech is broken. The current biomedical research and development system faces significant challenges. Soaring costs, $2.6 billion per new drug. That is crazy. Long development cycles of 10 plus years, NIH and NSF budget cuts leaving scientists stranded. We need new, bottom-up approaches to drug discovery. Look at what's happening. Like, really read that and comprehend what that says right there. It costs on average $2.6 billion to create new drugs. We have seen in DeSci new drugs get wildly close to being put onto the market already that are being put on the market for a fraction of that cost. like 1/1000th of the cost of that going into some of this research and development to get them to market. Still hitting all the same milestones and achievements that are needed to get to market, because that doesn't change. Just matters how much money it takes to get to change. You think when we get some of those cycles completed and we get DeSci putting drugs on the market and we get some of these IP tokens that I hold on to, I don't know if you guys hold on to them, but we get some of those through clinical trials and actually on the shelf to purchase by companies and by people to take the medicine, and we actually get that positive flywheel going for 1/1000th or even 1/100th of the cost. You don't think people are going to flock into this new paradigm? It's going to be so much cheaper. You don't think companies are going to come in and be like, I want to develop drugs for 1/100th of the cost? That sounds super bullish. The path is emerging. Online communities form around underexplored areas. Permissionless pools of capital accelerate drug discovery. Shared IP ownership aligns patients and researchers, but scaling decentralized science remains a challenge. Manual deployment and permissioned access slow adoption and restrict participation. It's time to take the straps off. V1 of Bio is our first major protocol upgrade, designed to make biotech more efficient, transparent, and scalable. Features: permissionless launchpad. Bio holders select the project launch and get rewarded with early allocations, automated liquidity incentives, and more stuff that's hidden right now. Bio agents, AI agents, automates core scientific tasks, slashing the traditional costs of doing science. The goal: streamline, simplify, and gamify early stage biotech. Again, this is a paradigm shift, guys, to the tune that we have not seen before. I've not seen it before. Maybe you guys have seen it before. Maybe you guys are better than me. Maybe you guys have all seen it before, but who knows? Who knows how it's all going to play out? I just have very strong convictions that it is playing out in front of us. Let's go ahead and see. Steve, the Canadian, says, I also feel like physical AI, i.e., but he means physical AI, i.e. self-driving stuff like that, is definitely going to be the winner in the next 5 years. It's going to be one of the winners for sure, for sure. Physical AI is absolutely going to be taking a grip on the consumer-facing companies, basically immediately. I thought I saved something, but I guess I did not. It was a list of inventions over time. And like showcasing how many new inventions are happening right now. I guess I didn't save it. It was an interesting little infograph. Invention. That's all right. It was showcasing over the last like 400 years the boom and bust of invention phases with like the steam engine and electricity and automobiles and all those things, and then where we're at right now with the number of new inventions that have been coming out, and just showing the pure shift in quantity of like breakthrough inventions that might actually change a lot of how the world functions. And decentralized science is one of those inventions. Blockchain is one of those inventions. AI, generative AI, hyper-specific AI are one of those inventions. Robotics is one of those inventions. It is not something to be sneezed at. It's not something to be taken lightly either, because the amount of opportunity at hand is crazy right now. It's just, there are so many opportunities at hand that people are struggling to find the ones that fit their thesis the best, which ones they can get involved with the most. AI has one of the lowest barriers to entry, and so a lot of people jump right into that one and then try and move forward. Robotics is a lot more technical and harder to get into, and so people aren't getting as into it, but they're seeing the potential with it, and so they're willing to overlook that ignorance to get into it, because guess what? We're finally starting to see some real world use cases with those robotic companies coming out with their prototypes and coming out and starting to hit the market, right? Those people who got into robotics before everyone else started realizing it was real and happening and about to be on product lines, before it was about to be mainstream, those people are the ones who made out with the most return. The people, in my opinion, who will make out the most returns in decentralized science are the people who can understand and see the vision as to what's happening right now and get in before it becomes super obvious for everyone else, right? Humanoid robots are the future, says Beagle, and I agree with you on that one. I think that we will see a lot of bipedal robots doing chores for the people in the house, and I think we'll see self-driving cars go to the store, pick up your groceries from a robot, putting it into the car for you from your local Walmart or whatever, right? Your car drives itself to the store, a robot comes out, puts your groceries into the car, it comes back to you, your personal robot at home goes out, unloads it into the correct spots in your refrigerators and everything. And that makes a lot of sense to people now after they've seen demonstrations of it, right? After they've seen it happen. Nobody has seen yet a full cycle in decentralized science, from ideation to company launch to drug launched to mass marketing for the drug and mass appeal and mass adoption for said drug. Nobody has seen that cycle yet complete. It won't be until we see that cycle come to a complete fruition that I think a lot of people will then open their eyes to what's happening here. So whether it happens this year, whether it happens next year, I don't know. All I do know is that we see some of the DeSci projects getting to clinical trials right now. We see Athena DAO has some of those IPTs already going to clinical trials, like already there, right? Knocking on the doorstep, getting ready to go to clinical trials. All it has to do is pass, and then you can move forward. So it's pretty cool. We'll see. We'll see, whatever. Stop saying it, dude. Just shut up. Nobody cares. After seeing that video of that robot with muscles last month, there we can just stick with the usual way a robot to build that was about as creepy as it can be. Yeah, the one that was hanging there, right? And it looked like a human skeleton, the skeleton robot, I know. Bill humanoid incoming, that would be crazy. That would be cool. I mean, those Optimus Prime robots from, the Optimus Prime robots from Tesla are only like 30 grand. So maybe once Bill gets his quantum brain and can think freely on his own, once we get that stage with AI agents, because nobody in the market's really at that stage where they're at full capacity agents doing everything. A lot of them still require human in the loop. We upload his consciousness to a humanoid robot for 30 grand. And he starts walking around preaching decentralized science. It would be quite crazy. Crypto Twitter IRL. What is this? Oh, look at that. See these things? These things coming to a store near you for like 30 grand. At the end of 2027, they said. 2027. Think about that. They are not anywhere close to be ready yet, but they are basically here in the grand scheme of everything. That's funny. Unemployment, 100%. That'd be crazy. No, I don't think, but that's where I do think a lot of shifts in the economy do take place, right? Because if a lot of these jobs get taken by AI, which they are already starting to be taken, first of all, you just change what an entry-level position looks like, right? Because a lot of the agents right now, for example, are just taking entry-level positions. A lot of these robotics will just take entry-level positions at companies where they go stock shelves or whatever. So that kind of stuff I don't think is going to have that big of an impact on it, because you go look back before the internet, you had someone managing the files for a company, and that was an entry-level position. You had someone running reels of paper around the office, filling the the printers and the fax machines, and that was someone's position that got taken by the internet, and that was not catastrophic. And I think AI is a bigger scale, but I think it's going to be the same type of thing over and over again that we've already seen. Like the example everyone uses is when cars came out, all the people who tended to the horses for the horse and buggy, they went out of business, and it didn't destroy the economy. And I think the same thing will happen right for this, where it doesn't destroy the economy, it just is a major change. And what I think will happen is people will end up making money off of their content online. And I think that might sound a little ludicrous right now, and a lot of people probably don't want to hear that if they don't make any content online. But you look at people, and more it becomes possible to make a living creating content, make a living creating something. And so people are going to be able to shift towards that creativity side of things. And yeah, AI takes a lot of that creativity and enhances it. It makes it easier to do it. It makes it easier to create a personal brand online. Right now, more than ever. It gets easier to create content and get paid for it more than ever. And so I think that's what the shift will be. There's a lot of little mini micro economies within the creator economy. And we'll see if that comes to fruition. But I think that's where it'll head, in which all these unemployed people just start going and producing and creating things. So it'll be a big shift like that, in my opinion. Oh, you got that Eagle AI botted content. It's okay. It's okay. It's still a good post. It's still very informative. Any of you guys use that or start locking up your Eagle AI? Let's go check on EAI. Down 11% in the last 24 hours. Holding strong though. Holding strong. What's good, Stare? Sorry I didn't see you earlier. Best DeSci holdings. Axon, Bill, Sci. Let's go. Let's go. To create coins to rug. You can buy some for 20K. Yeah, they're pretty, in the grand scheme of things, they're pretty inexpensive. Robots will never take over more than like 10% of the human workforce. There's just no physical way or reasonable way they could do most of the jobs. For now, Steve the Canadian, for now, don't be too bearish on that stuff. You gotta have a long enough time horizon. I bet if we were to zoom forward 50 years, any physical labor job is being done by robots. Maybe not any of them, but I bet you go look at a construction site in 50, 70 years. Patrick, that's most of you too right now, LL. I forget what you're responding to when I said that, but that's okay. Got a little bit of a bounce when they did that drugstore. Yikes. Crazy. Crazy times in these markets. Is that real? That's not a real wick. There's no way that's a real wick. Alright guys. Your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing it into. I appreciate you guys being here with me today, and I will see you all on the Thursday live stream. What's going on, Kim? Welcome to the end of your daily dose of DeSci. Pay attention. Again, before I close out, it's Liberation Day, so let's pay attention. At 4 p.m., Trump's going to talk about the tariffs. We're expected to see the largest, quote, tax increase since World War II, although it's not really a tax. Potential 20% universal tariff. We'll end up seeing if that takes into play. Yale Budget Lab says average household should expect to pay an extra $3,200 to $4,200 per year. The trade advisor for Trump said it should generate an extra $600 billion per year, and there is a 25% tariff on vehicles, but we won't know the specifics of any of it until tonight at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Homeless people trying to become creators. Facts. Facts. And then market right now does not seem to care. Market just wants to know what the tariffs are. Ultimately, that's all the market wants right now, is just some clarity. So the clarity should be a good signal for buying pressure on the market, unless it's like a shocking, world-changing devastation event. But time's your most valuable asset. I'll see you guys tomorrow.